Remember that classic movie, The Devil Wears Prada? There's a scene where Miranda Priestley, the powerful and elegant editor, talks firmly about how cerulean was a color she chose that took over the fashion world. That moment is brilliant because it highlights a simple truth: details matter. And that's where many women slip up after 40. They lose attention to details, make small mistakes, and fall into the trap of carelessness. The worst part? Often they don't even notice. Have you ever stopped to think if you're making these mistakes too? Because 99% of women after turning 40 let things slide that destroy their elegance. One wrong habit here and another there. And the result? That impeccable image we dream of maintaining starts to slowly fade away. Hi, I'm Carol, creator of the lucrative Elegance channel, and today I want to invite you to rethink these missteps that 99% of women make after 40. And it's not just about emotions. I'm also talking about how to avoid other mistakes. But first, I want to ask you a question. How would you feel if you could transform small details, like accessories, into elegance multipliers? If that interests you, click the link in the pinned comment and check out my complete course on how to use necklaces, bags, scarves, shoes, and even perfumes to elevate your looks with elegance. And of course, if today's video helps you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for more tips on how to turn your elegance into a profitable asset. Think about it. Is your emotional vulnerability a weakness or an opportunity to connect more deeply with the people you love? Let's dive into the mistakes these women make. 1. Avoiding emotional vulnerability. As we age, it's common to become more cautious with our emotions. The losses, disappointments, and hurts accumulated over the years can lead us to build emotional walls, believing this protects us. However, this emotional isolation often results in disconnection from others, depriving us of deeper and more meaningful relationships. In reality, being vulnerable is a sign of emotional strength, not weakness. A Bible verse that beautifully illustrates the value of vulnerability is found in 2 Corinthians 12:9, where the Apostle Paul says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Paul recognizes that it is in his vulnerability that he experiences God's power and grace. This reminds us that allowing ourselves to be open and honest about our frailties brings us closer to others and strengthens our spirit. Have you ever thought that hiding your emotions might be distancing you from the people you love the most? Emotional vulnerability is directly linked to a sense of well-being and the building of deeper relationships. People who allow themselves to be vulnerable, sharing their feelings and emotions with others, report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction in their relationships. This is particularly relevant as we age, since emotional connections play a crucial role in our quality of life. Now think about your most important relationships. How could they be different if you allowed people to see your true emotions? Often by hiding our fears, sadness, or even our hopes, we create an invisible distance that prevents bonds from strengthening. On the other hand, when we open up and show who we truly are, we give people the opportunity to know us deeply. This can transform any relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or even a new relationship that arises later in life. If avoiding vulnerability feels like a habit, start small. Share something simple with someone you trust. It could be a worry you have, a painful memory, or even a dream you haven't achieved yet. This openness will gradually create an environment of mutual trust and genuine connection. What many don't realize is that emotional vulnerability is the key to cultivating true intimacy and understanding. And we're not talking about grand dramatic gestures, but sincere, small shares that build strong bonds. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we're cultivating stronger relationships and, consequently, a richer and more fulfilling emotional life. What are you holding in your heart that could be the first step toward connecting more deeply with someone? 2. Monopolizing conversations. As we age, we accumulate stories, experiences, and wisdom that we often want to share. However, a common mistake older people make is dominating conversations, not realizing that this can push others away. Talking too much is not a sign of wisdom. On the contrary, it can come across as egocentric and show a lack of interest in others' perspectives, especially those of younger people. The Bible gives us deep insight into the balance between speaking and listening. In James 1:19, we are advised, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak." This verse is not just a call for patience, but a lesson in practical wisdom. Listening attentively to others strengthens connections and demonstrates humility and respect. If we're always talking, how can we truly learn from the experiences of others? Have you ever considered that listening more than speaking might be the key to deeper and more respectful relationships? Research backs up the importance of being a good listener. A study revealed that people perceived as good listeners have stronger interpersonal relationships and greater influence in their social circles. The study also identified that real listening involves actively engaging the other person in conversation, asking questions, and showing genuine interest in the speaker's opinions and feelings. Thus, the act of listening can be a powerful tool for building deeper, more meaningful bonds. Picture yourself in a circle of friends or family. You're eager to share your past experiences, but before speaking, pause and reflect. Is this the right moment to share or to listen? Perhaps someone has something important to say, and by monopolizing the conversation, you may be silencing other voices. Active listening allows others to express themselves, enriches your own understanding of situations, and creates a more balanced exchange. To avoid falling into the trap of talking too much, try setting a mental limit. After sharing a story or idea, pause and invite others to join the conversation. Phrases like, "What do you think?" or "I'd love to hear your opinion on this" open space for others to contribute and show that you value their perspectives. This simple gesture creates more engagement and strengthens your connections, especially with younger generations who may feel overshadowed in discussions dominated by older voices. As we age, true wisdom lies in being known as someone who knows how to listen, rather than someone who always has something to say. The ability to step back and observe in silence is a sign of maturity and humility. After all, talking can be easy, but truly listening, with attention and interest, is what builds bridges and strengthens relationships. Are your stories opening doors for dialogue or creating barriers to real conversation? 3. Expecting respect without earning it. In the past, reaching a certain age was enough to guarantee respect from society, but times have changed. Today, respect is not automatically granted just because of seniority. Younger generations, in particular, value character, empathy, and the ability to understand and adapt, challenging traditional hierarchies. As older adults, we might feel frustrated when we don't receive the treatment we believe we deserve because of our experience. But true respect is not something that's demanded, it's earned. The Bible offers an important perspective on how we should approach respect. In Luke 6:31, we find the famous verse, "Do to others as you would have them do to you." This principle of reciprocity is fundamental when we think about respect. To receive respect, we must first offer it, regardless of age or position. We can't expect younger generations to treat us with deference without first showing that we value their opinions, experiences, and perspectives. Are you demanding respect or building relationships that inspire it? People who demonstrate empathy and openness in their interactions, regardless of age, are more respected and appreciated by younger people. Researchers have also found that mutual respect is built when there is a genuine exchange of ideas and feelings, rather than an imposition of authority based on age. In other words, respect is built in small interactions, in the way we listen, understand, and respond to the needs and opinions of others. If you want to strengthen your relationships and inspire genuine respect, a practical approach is to begin each interaction with empathy and humility. Next time you're talking with someone younger, instead of expecting immediate deference, ask about their experiences, listen to their opinions attentively, and show a willingness to learn something new. This shows that you respect them and creates an environment where respect is naturally returned. The true wisdom of maturity lies in understanding that respect isn't guaranteed by age, but by character. By treating others, especially younger people, with empathy and consideration, you earn respect and build stronger, more meaningful bonds. Is the respect you expect being earned through your actions or merely demanded because of your age? 4th, judging people based on first impressions. As we age, it's common to believe that our vast experience gives us an almost foolproof radar for quickly assessing others. However, the tendency to make snap judgments based on first impressions can prevent us from forming deep and meaningful relationships. When we base our evaluations on superficial traits, whether it's appearance, age, or even political opinions, we close doors to interactions that could enrich us. The Bible offers a warning against such quick judgments. In John 7:24, Jesus says, "Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead, judge correctly." Here, Jesus reminds us that appearances can be deceptive, and we must look beyond the surface to truly understand people. True wisdom lies not in judging quickly, but in being patient and seeking to know someone's essence. Have you ever stopped to think about how many opportunities for connection you may have missed by judging too hastily? The judgments we make in the first few seconds of meeting someone, though natural, are often inaccurate and based on stereotypes. When we take the time to get to know people better, these initial impressions often prove to be wrong, leading to richer interactions and longer-lasting relationships. So when we judge quickly, we may be depriving ourselves of valuable connections that could greatly enhance our lives. Now, think of a time when you were judged unfairly. Maybe someone made snap conclusions about you based on your appearance or something you said in an isolated context. How did that make you feel? Often, when we're judged unjustly, we feel that the person didn't bother to truly understand us. In the same way, when we fall into the trap of quick judgment, we're doing the same to others. One practical way to avoid this behavior is to cultivate curiosity in your interactions. Instead of jumping to conclusions, ask questions that invite the person to open up. For example, ask, "What's the biggest lesson you've learned in life so far?" Or, "What challenges have you overcome recently?" These kinds of questions help create deeper conversations and allow you to see beyond first impressions. True wisdom is recognizing that people are much more complex than they appear at first glance. By withholding judgment and adopting an open attitude, we not only foster our own growth but also strengthen relationships that can bring joy and learning to our journey. How many opportunities do you think you've missed by relying on your first impressions? You've now identified some of the most common missteps that 99% of women make after 40. So the question remains, how can you stand out and avoid falling into these traps? Speaking of standing out, have you ever thought about the impact your style has over the years? Many people lose their way, thinking they need to stick to the same trends as always, but the reality is different. There's a balance between fashion and maturity, and that's where many people stumble. Want to discover how to master that balance? If you really want to learn how to use the power of fashion to your advantage at every stage of life, you need to watch the video, Fashion and Age. Fashion for women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's the perfect complement to everything we discussed today. It will help you understand how to adapt your style without losing your essence and ensure that your elegance evolves with you. Let's recap what we covered today. First, we talked about the importance of not avoiding emotional vulnerability, of cultivating active listening instead of monopolizing conversations, of earning respect through your actions rather than just expecting it, and of how small slip-ups in your image can compromise your elegance. Small adjustments, big results. Now think about this. What if, beyond these adjustments, you could multiply your elegance by using the right accessories? I've created a complete course to teach you how to do just that, using necklaces, bags, scarves, shoes, perfumes, and much more to transform any basic look into something incredibly elegant. The course is only $49.99, and the link is in the pinned comment. Don't miss this opportunity, right? If you liked this video and want more tips on turning your elegance into a profitable asset, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about more than just fashion. We teach how to be a woman who stands out in any situation. And tell me in the comments, mature elegance. I want to know who's committed to this transformation. See you in the next video.